Hello, my name is Neil and welcome to Colwyn Junction. First, I'll give you a short background. I've recently retired and I've moved back to North Wales where I was born. When I was young, I had an 8 foot by 4 model railway in my teens, but it had no scenics. It was basically a roundy, couple of main lines, all Hornby track and Hornby trains. I've always wanted to build a proper railway, and for the last couple of years since I've been retired, I've been watching all the videos on YouTube from all the big favourites, the ones that everyone knows. Although it was about time I did one myself. So I've now decided what I want to build. I've now got the resources, the time, the finances. So I'm looking to start now and build my railway. So now I want to have a look at the definition or the guidelines of how I want to build this railway. Initially, it's based on Colwyn Bay, North Wales, around the 1980s or even the 1970s, late 1970s. I want to build on open baseboards, multi-level, probably a range of around about 12 to 18 inches between the two. No helixes, I don't really bother with that. I did look at a 4-line main, 2 up, 2 down, but I'm going to stick with, if I can, 2 main lines, tail chaser. DMU shuttle running as a separate line, i.e. that's why it's called a junction. A goods yard or a TND. There is a goods yard on the original Colwyn Bay layout. And I want to have a fiddle yard that will hold at least trains in the configuration I want. So that's the guidelines I want to use for the railway.
Right, so this is the room that I've been allocated. You can see in this corner I've got some loft access, some plastic boxes that are going to be removed, quite a lot of polystyrene really. Then in the corner there I've got another loft access that will be covered up, some more polystyrene, a cupboard, again that's going to be not used at all as the railway will come around that corner, into the window where I actually have got quite a bit of stock at the moment. These are all items I've been buying over the last year or so. I'd guess around about 15 trains there, mainly diesels, including my favourite Deltics. And this is the current workbench that I have. That will move into the middle of the room, around about here. My wife's very kindly painted the room a lovely shade of blue. But I will also be putting back scenes up as well. Right over into this corner here. So this will be one end of the dog bone. I'll travel around the room, a bit quick there. And the other dog bone will be in that corner there. That will then give me full access into the room so that I won't have to get and climb under the board at all.
So this is the track plan for the new Colwyn Junction. So I've just shown you a video of the room and you can see it was a 15 by 12. So this is using Anyrail. And so the first layer I made was the outline of the room. So measuring all of the walls and making the outline as is, with all the blocks on there being, the main blocks being 1 foot by 1 foot. The bottom corner here, bottom I've got this is the door opening. And this across is one of the openings into the loft. The first thing I tried to do, I think this is version 13, first thing I tried to do was bring in some Hornby plans. So I worked out the scale that they were in the magazines and scanned them in and then brought them in as pictures and then started to play around with them. This is one that came in, which I think was around about a 9 foot by 12 foot plan. And then I was going to extend by just inserting track into here and into the across here to fill up the gap. But nothing really suited what I was trying to do, and there was more track than what I wanted it really to be involved in. So I went back to basics, and as I said, I didn't want to have to crawl under the track anywhere, coming and going. So I made some boards up. These were basically 4 foot by 3 foot boards, going around in a circle around the room. And I also built this sort of template I could put over the board to work out where all the turnouts are and where all the points would be for the point motors. And flip it round and then put it up against every board to work out where the point motors would be or anything else underneath. So I could move them along as I was building each board. But basically all of the boards are 4 foot by 3 foot. Then I laid on top of that the track, which was on this layer here. And the track is basically, as you know, 2 main tracks going all the way around up to a raised level along the top up here. Coming back down again, round the loop in the window, and then back up into the railway station, which Colwyn Bay is basically a curved platform. But I've got to work out the scale yet, but anyway, it's meant to be a curved platform. And in the middle of that, I've added, as it's called Colwyn Junction, I've got to have a junction to something. So I've added I suppose a DMU branch line that is this bright red one that just goes under here and would go. This would be a back scene covering here. Shouldn't pick that up. Let's put the train station back, everything back where it should be, right? So I'd follow the track around here, be a point to point. It'd stop under here, wait about 10 seconds, and come back down the track again, stop in the station, carrying along, and up into a country station along here with a siding. That would be fully automated, and you go there and back, stopping at the station on the way. I would probably put a joiner up into the main track somewhere. And that was basically it. Just going round and round. Not a lot of points, similar to some of the train stations I've seen on videos. I then needed to add a goods yard or a TMD. So this track then came in, so it comes off here before you go into the station, and it runs along, it runs lower beneath the station here into a goods yard or a TMD, as I'm not sure which. It's modelled on the old one in Colwyn Bay. Anyway, not sure exactly what that will exactly look like, but it's got 5 or 6 tracks. I think probably be a TMD. I'll store some engines there. And then the final bit was to put a fiddle yard in. So originally I looked at a fiddle yard, you can't quite see, but under the main railway station using helixes, but didn't like that idea. So that's why I took it out, and I put in a fiddle yard here. So I did want a fiddle yard where I could come in and go out the other side, but couldn't get one to fit. So I got the track plan. It looks something like this, where come off either line here, so behind the back scene along here, I'll come on a separate track and go just into the fiddle yard. It's around about 9 or 10 foot, I think. And I think 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tracks in there. So 5 for the upper line and 5 for the down line. Anyway, it looks okay at the moment. Load of points here. So I'll have a point control panel around about this area here, and another one over here that controls the rest of the layout, basically. So the goods yard, the station points, and the branch line points will all be controlled in this area, and the fiddle yard will be controlled here. So basically from here you could control the whole of the layout, hopefully. Just to explain, I've got a couple of ovals here, or circles here. This is a 3rd radius and 4th radius curves. The 4th radius are Hornby, and the 3rd radius is Pico. They were put in so wherever I had curves, I would use these to make sure I had them at least 3rd radius at any end point. So I just copy each one that I needed it, and then all of the points I put in here from the Code 100 streamline from Pico. At the moment, I'm now going through redrawing all of the points and the track, and seeing what I've got left basically. I'm looking on this board 2 here to have some form of industry. There's a 4 foot by 2 foot area around about here. There's not much room anywhere else for anything. This bottom section, boards 12 and 1, this will be basically scenic with the branch line station. Anyway, so finally I've already had all the wood delivered, or majority of it, probably 90% of it. You can see the pile of wood there, about 150 pieces from local joiners. I'd say all of the panels on the left are the legs. There's about 40 legs there, all 3x2s, all a meter long. I haven't decided yet how high I want the frames to be, but when I'll do some modelling and work out what's the optimum height I want it to be. So if they've got to be less than 1 meter, then they'll have to be cut down. And I've got adjustable feet to put on the bottom of them anyway. And then on the right side, you have 4 foot 4x1s, 3 foot 4x1s, and a foot long 4x1s to make up the 10 or 11 frames that I need, and a few odd ones as well. I haven't quite got all the wood yet for the fiddle yard because I'm not 100% sure it's actually going to go where it's going to go. But I bought all the wood at least to get the track to go all the way around. So my job now is for the next month or so is building all of the frames. The majority of them are all the same shape and size anyway. When they're all built and I have the final layout complete, I'll put another video online. It should be a bit longer than this one. This one's coming in around about 10-11 minutes. Anyway, it's the end of my first video. I'll see you all for the next one. Bye bye for now.